It's about knowing how you can make your schedule and your time work for you so that everybody wins. Alrighty everybody, what's up and welcome to this week's episode of It Takes Grit, talking about goals and setting things for the future and what you need to do on a daily basis to help you get where you want to go. And I'm actually going to share with you exactly what I do to set my goals, what I do each month, when I check in, how often I check in. So I'm literally going to give you the whole thing. I'm even going to show you my notebook as well. So if you are watching on YouTube, you're going to get some behind the scenes as well. All right, so welcome to this week's episode of It Takes Grit. Before, we dive into this, if you have experienced some positivity, some love, some, a good vibe from this podcast, I want to share it with somebody today because we can change people's lives together. The more people that we allow into our circle and allow us to watch this incredible, opportunity to level up our life, then boom, we're going to be able to serve more people. And of course, if you haven't already left a review and you've just been affected by one thing, take the time today just to give us a quick review and say hi, how much you liked it, and maybe a particular episode that you enjoyed as well. So, all right, let's get going. So we're going to talk about goals today, how to set them, when to set them, how to know that you're on track. But I want to break it down for you super simple. So if you don't have a pen and paper, grab one. And if you don't have a notebook that is your one notebook that you go to, maybe it's your It Takes Grit podcast notebook, right? That you go to every single month, so you haven't got loads of bits of paper flying around, I highly suggest it. So this is the one I have for 2020. It's got all of my ideas, it's got my plans in it, it's got, where I want to go, where I am right now, and I have a whole other one of this just like this that actually looks the same that I had for 2019. So I suggest finding that one so that you can always revert back to it and you haven't got all of these bits of paper going everywhere. Right? One of the biggest things of setting goals is to get organized. And this doesn't have to be done at the beginning of the year. This could be something that you do each week, the beginning of the month, just something that is going to refresh your brain and get you aligned with where you're at right now, where you want to go. So, it doesn't matter when you're listening to this podcast, it's always going to be a new month right around the corner. So I suggest doing this at the beginning of each month, or if it's halfway through the month right now, just start, right? Always we think that it has to be perfect to start. It has to start on a Monday. It has to start at the beginning of the month. All of these things, it doesn't matter, guys. It's about starting, and the day that you start is the day that you start to see results. So why would you wait another couple of days to get the life and get the results that you want? So what do you want to achieve by the end of this month? Okay, so what are the things, and it could be a bullet point. So this is what I have on mine, is I have here. Look, just dropped my phone. Hi there, Alfie. Alfie's joining us as well. So I actually have like a little bullet points of things that I want to hit in June, July, August. I've got it all the way up to September right now. Okay, this is where my vision's at. I've got my, my 1 year plan, my 2 year plan, 3, 5, all of those things. But I just have a certain amount of things that I want to achieve each month. Okay, so for June, I think I had 7 or 8 things. July, I've got a couple more. I've got like 12 things on the list. August, I've got 6. September, I've got 2 right now. So things might change, right? I can always add things on. So the first thing that I want you to do, okay, is after this podcast, right now you're going to take notes on how to do it, is you're going to write down a list of the things that you want to achieve in this month. Okay, so I don't care when you're listening to it. It's about achieving it this month. Now, this is why that I like to do it 4 months out, right? Because there's got to be so many things that you want to achieve, right? There's lots of things that you want to achieve, and you might not be able to achieve everything in 1 month because sometimes things take 3 months to achieve. Sometimes things take 3 years to achieve. So that's why if you just do it from 1 month, you don't get to see the overall vision. So what I want you to do is after this, write down, first of all, write whatever month it is, and then write out the next 5 months. And I want you to have a list of at least 5 things in each month that you want to achieve. So, for example, we're in June 2020. In June 2020, I wanted to hit a second cut of a position in a company that I'm in. So I know that I need to do it 3 months in a row. So guess what? I can't do all of it in one go. It has to be over 3 months. So one of June's goals was hit second cut. The May goal was to hit first cut. And then guess what is July? It's to hit the third cut, right? Because we have to do things in the 3 cuts. And so that was one of my goals. Another one of my goals for June was to get my new website out, my rebecca-louise.com website. That's come out. I wanted to make sure that that was out. And so that was my focus. Sometimes when we wake up in the morning, we don't know what we're supposed to do. We don't know what we're supposed to focus on. So I knew that these are the things that I had to work on, right? When I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do today? Should I be following up with this person? Should I be starting this? It's like, no, go back to your list. And what is on that list that you need to do this month? What was the things that you wrote down? And it gives you a structure, it gives you a guideline. I'm going to go more into detail about how you actually put it into a plan, but you need an overall, kind of vision board of what you want to achieve in the next 5 months, but not something like, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds in 5 months, right? So you break it down. You say, great, each month for the next 5 months, my goal is to lose 10 pounds. And then at the end of that 5 months, boom, you have created 50-pound weight loss. So it's about getting the big term goal and breaking it down each month to be able to help you hit that goal. Because if you've got these big goals, right, it's like they seem so far away. And also, how do you attain them? How is it possible to even get that goal? You have to break it down. So I want you guys to share with me too, what are the 5, 6 things that you want to achieve each month over the next, 4 or 5 months. And you're going to need a plan of 4 or 5 months because not everything like the 50-pound weight loss you're going to be able to do in 1 month. So you could say, you know what, I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay, that's great, right? Or I want to hit a new position in this company, or I want to get this grade at school. But how do you do that? You need to have a map and it visualized out. So if it's the 50 pounds that you want to lose, right, or gain, 20 pounds of lean muscle, right, I want to do this over the course of 5 months. So what do I need to lose each month so that you can celebrate that success? If the big goal is just this thing that's kind of in the distance, it's in the future, and you don't feel like it's attainable, you're going to lose motivation. You're going to lose focus, and you're going to lose the ability to get that goal. So this is what I want you to focus on, is having, a couple of goals that you want to achieve each month over the course of, 5 months. Now, look, June, my goal was I wanted to get my website out. And so what did I do? I kept chasing my developers. I made sure that if there was any graphics that I needed to make, that I was on top of it. I made sure that I was, as soon as they sent me the website to check, I was on top of it, that I was checking it so that I could give them feedback. And it was so like, hey, and it literally happened, the last day of the month. But I knew that I had to get that done so that I could start July with all of these other goals, because I'm looking at July and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I got to do all of this stuff. These are my goals for July. So I have to make sure that I've done all of June. Otherwise, they're going to roll into it. It's going to feel like, oh my goodness, I've got so much more to do. Now, look, there was one thing in June that I didn't do, right? We're all human. Didn't do it as well as I wanted to do. I had a goal of a certain amount of TikTok videos that I wanted to make that were new and different. I still managed to get a TikTok video out every day. But what I didn't do was I didn't create the new content that I wanted to. So that was the one thing that maybe in June I didn't do. But you know what? Everything else I got done. There was one other thing that I wanted done, but I'm waiting on a couple of other people because it's a team effort for something, a page on my website, right? So some things I've still got to be patient with, but I know on my end for that other thing, I've done everything that I was supposed to do. So yes, there are times where you are waiting on other people to do things, and it's like, okay, that's out of my control, but I know that I did everything that I needed to do. And then maybe in the future, it's like, you know what, maybe I started that, I'm going to take full responsibility. Maybe I started that idea a little bit too late, and I didn't actually give enough time, or if I didn't preface enough time to get that thing done. So what do I do in the future? I don't moan, I don't complain, I don't get frustrated. Great, that's a great learning lesson. I'm now going to learn that actually if I do want something done like this, I need to have more of a time frame to be able to have that happen. So great. So now I've got my new things for July and I'm excited, right? It is, right now it's the 1st of July. And so we're setting out these new goals. And so, but it doesn't matter what month it is. It doesn't matter if it's halfway through. I now know what is my focus on for this next month. So what do I do then? All right. So I've got what I want to achieve by the end of this month. Next month, plan it out to the end of the year. I think if you can, whatever month that it is, you can kind of plan it out to the end of the year. I know that I've got till September right here. And a few things have obviously changed because of COVID and things that you were doing that might you not be doing. So you have to adapt, right? We all have to adapt in these times. It's very new, it's different. And then it's writing the list of I must and I will. Right? It's having that intrinsic drive, finding that grit inside you that's going to make you show up every single day to get those results that you want and to do the things, right? And you're going to feel so good because you're going to be in motion and it's going to give you more motivation to do the next thing. And now when I have a list of things to do that I want to achieve, it's not a chore, it's not difficult. It's like, oh, this is exciting, right? It's exciting because I've trained my brain to be excited about everything because I know what the end result is. I know that the end outcome of, hitting this new position is going to impact so many other lives. I know that by getting out, this new calendar that I wanted to get out and adding in some motivation lives, it's going to add value. So sometimes it's like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. I get to do this. I get to do this because the outcome is gonna be so powerful. So that's always what you wanna remind yourself when you're feeling like that's lack of motivation or you've got that drive that's just not there. It's like, what is the outcome? Why am I doing this, okay? And it will propel you to the next level. So then, once you've got your list, right, you've got all this incredible list, it's all like flying through, you're like, my goodness, I'm on fire. Now, how do you do it? Now, what do you plan? So what I then do, I'm literally using pen and paper. This is how I like to write out my goals. And look, I tick them off. Tick off the goal. It feels so good. I use another app called Things, which I'm going to go into. So it's kind of broken down into 3 parts. One is the overall vision of the month and the next couple of months. Number 2 is then breaking it down which day I'm going to do what. So then what I do is I go to Google Calendar. Love Google Calendar, right? Because it is an electronic way that you can like move things around and you can see things as an overall visual. And maybe you're somebody that likes your overall calendar, but you need something where you can see the whole month and map out the times that you have available. So I've got mine up here and I'm going to schedule in, first of all the calls that I have, right? I have non-negotiable calls on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays, and now I do some additional lives as well. So they're already scheduled in, right? Because that comes first, because that is what's going to help me reach these goals. So you have to schedule that in first, like what all happening, right? Okay, great. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my list of things that I need to accomplish, and I'm going to start to add them in each day. So I'm like, great, on Thursday the 9th, I don't have anything, so I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, right? And I might break it down because, you know what, I might get tired or my brain might not have as much creativity if I'm doing the same thing all day long. Or sometimes, I just absolutely crush it. It works. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my list of all the things that I want to achieve in July, and also I need to find out which one is going to take longer and which one is time sensitive, which one needs to happen first, and maybe also which one is going to take a little while to set up. So, right here I've got, I've got a new app coming out, and so I need to do some stuff on the app. But you know what? I'm working with another team member, so I might need a longer period of time. So it's about being smart of where you're going to put the things in this. And it might be moving it around, which is what I love about Google Calendar, is you can go, actually, no, this is going to work better here. And I go, right, I got my workout days, I'm filming on these days here, X, Y, and Z. I've also got to put in this, blah, blah, blah. And so that's what's going to help you organize the structure. So now you've got this list of things that you want to accomplish, and you're going to, boom, you're going to put it into your Google Calendar. Right, so then you go, okay, I've got all these spaces here, no problem, I'm going to add this in, I'm going to do this. Then what you want to do is you want to add in a little bit of fun as well, right? So you're like, okay, no problem, I know, and I have to also coordinate with Corey's calendar. So what I do too is I look at Corey's calendar and I look at the days that he is not working. And I also make sure that I plan some things around there. So Corey goes to work for a 48-hour shift. He doesn't come home at night. He's gone. So what do? Is I look at those days and I make sure that they're the days that I am playing full out with my work schedule. Because he's not here. I don't need you to just sit around. And then I'll look like, okay, maybe, this is the day that, he's off on, 11th. It's a Saturday, it's 11th, right? I know I'm doing a live that morning. However, he's off and it's a Saturday. So that's probably the day that I'm going to not work as much because nobody else is working, right? The rest of my team aren't working in terms of Rebecca-Louise stuff. So I'm very strategic. I map out exactly the day and the time that I'm going to have my fun, right? And it might be like, oh my goodness, that doesn't sound fun, scheduling your fun, but it does, because it makes me feel like I am in control of my schedule. I'm going to still hit my goals. You know what? If I'm smart about this, I can have as much fun as I want to. It just needs to be on the days that aren't going to conflict with anything else. And I feel great because, Saturday, the 11th of July, for example, Corey is off. I'm doing a live that morning, so I still feel like I'm getting my workout in. I'm contributing to my community. I'm doing a live for the Burn group members, for the Burn VIPs. And then it's a Saturday, right? So typically the rest of the world, all the other jobs that we have going on, app development people, nobody else is working. So that's the day that I'm gonna, maybe take a rest, go to the beach or whatever. So it sounds like, if you do want to be successful, you have to be really strategic with your time. And even when you're talking about your nutrition, if you're like, hey, this is why this is great, right? Even planning your life with your nutrition, your job, like this can be used in so many different ways. And so if you're like, hey, you know what? It's probably going to be my cheat day. Which day is going to be my cheat day? Work it out properly. Hey, I don't just want to have a cheat day by myself on Friday night when nobody is here. I want to wait till it's a Saturday night. I'm out with my friends. I'm having a drink. I have a dessert or whatever, right? And that's how you also want to schedule, your eating habits. When do you go to the gym? Like, when are you doing your workout classes? When are you doing the Burn app? Like, all of those things. It's like, how are you scheduling it into your life to make sure that you are meeting all areas, okay? Your friendships, your relationships, your health, okay, business and work, all right? All of those things. And it depends what your goal is each month. For example, Corey was like, oh, he really wanted to go on a road trip, get a motorhome and go on a 10-day trip. And I was like, you know what? Right now is not the time. Right now, that's not something that I can do. However, because these are my goals. However, I know in my head already of goals that I want to accomplish, June, July, August, and September, then I'm going to have some time in October. That's going to work for me. So it's about knowing how you can make your schedule and your time work for you so that everybody wins, right? If I say to Corey, yes, I have an afternoon off on Wednesday, but there's still other things going off, I'm not really dedicating my time and attention, right? If it's a Saturday, it's going to be different. So I want you to kind of think about using that calendar in your head, right? Putting it onto here to schedule. And then guess what? When that day is, and you can put an alarm, right? You're like 9 a.m., I'm going to start working on, researching a book promotion thing, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is in your life, I'm going to start doing X, Y, Z. I'm going to start with this new hobby. I'm going to start with this new course. I'm going to start with this. Like, everything is in there, and it's a time so that you know what time you're doing it. And you give yourself blocks. So it's not just like, oh yeah, 13th of whatever, I'm gonna, learn how to do, edit a video. It's not. It's like between the hours of this and this, I'm gonna learn how to edit a video, right? It has to be super specific, and we're gonna go through how to set those goals afterwards, but I wanted to give you the overview first of all. So great. So now you've got everything here. Now there's also gonna be things that creep up, right? And stuff that you need to do, and that's fine. So what I then do on a daily basis is I have another app. I have an app called Things. And this is the things, funny enough, that I have to do daily that are time sensitive, right, that I need to accomplish by the end of the day. You're not allowed up there, Penny. So, right now I have like things that I need to do. I have some recognition to do. I have to film a podcast. Podcast is also in my schedule as well because it's a big thing. And these are just like little notes and reminders to be like, okay, you need to do this. You need to do the burn Instagram. You need to do a TikTok video. And it just kind of keeps things aligned, and I can move it. Once I've done it, I can tick it off and I can move it to the next day. So this is just like a daily thing to make sure that I am not missing anything. Right, of the small things, not something that I need to add to the calendar, because I post on the Burn Instagram and my Instagram every single day, and I just sometimes need a reminder before I go to bed. Oh my goodness, have I got the next post set up for the next day? Have I done that? So if you're running a business right now, you want to have on there posted on Instagram, right? If you're trying to run a business, and then you're like, at the end of the day, you can be like, oh, that reminded me. I didn't post on Instagram today, so I need to do the post, right? Or I need to do the TikTok video, or I need to call up this person, or whatever it is. So this really helps me make sure that I know that I'm not missing anything for tomorrow, right? And sometimes I'll wake up and I'll be like, okay, I did put this on the agenda for today, but it's not time sensitive. I don't need to do it right now. I'm going to move it to another day. So this also keeps you organized throughout the day. See, I am super organized. I have to be, right? There's so many moving parts that happen within, the two companies that I run, the, family, relationships, dogs, all these things. There's a lot of stuff going on. So it really does help to be organized. All right, so now let's talk about visualization, which is going to help you create that initial list. What are you visualizing for the future? What is it that you want to achieve, this month, next month, a year from now? Like, you have to start to visualize. And without vision, you perish, right? If you don't have a goal for the future, you don't have anything to motivate yourself to. So we need to start to think about, what is it that you want, all right? What is it that is going to keep pushing you? Because I couldn't even imagine like not having a goal or not having something to look forward to, because yeah, absolutely I wouldn't be motivated. I would be bored. I would feel sorry for myself. I would be like, what's the point of living, right? If you don't have a vision for your future, you will perish, right? Where there is no vision, you will perish. So have that vision and have the belief. You have to have belief in yourself. Anybody is capable of doing anything, as long as you put the work in, right? I think that's the thing, is that people go, well, I really want to do that, but you know what? I started that, but that's actually a lot of work. Yes, it can be a lot of work, right? But enjoy it. Enjoy the challenge. Enjoy something pushing you to the limits, because like it's going to help you grow. And then manifest. Manifest, manifest. Write it down over and over again. Like, you know what? I have so many things. In fact, I love rewriting my lists out. It's funny because I'll have here June focus. Maybe I started off with 2 little things. May, I'm ending, I even rewrite things out as things go along, right? I rewrite them out. I've got another great diagram here. It's 2 plans because I've got 2 businesses. So I write out, it's at May, June, July, August, September. Business 1, business 2, and then I'll write out what the goals are for each of the companies. And then I like to rewrite it because I like to add things in. I like to change it around. I like to stretch my vision. I like to see what's possible. I mean, there's numerous times where I've written out my plan in here. And this is my one notebook where, I'm even designing new logos for things. I've got the marketing plan of our nutrition company. There's like literally everything in here that helps me stay on track of what I've got coming up, right? So visualize, manifest, writing stuff down, and getting organized, getting so crystal clear with what it is that you want. And if you're like, hey, I just want to lose 5 pounds this month, right? Or I just want to make, if I just want to lose some weight this month, or I just want to make an extra whatever, make a couple hundred whatever dollars, right? That's not going to give you something that you can actually plan for. And so then number 4, right? So number 1, what is it that you want to achieve by the end of the month, your next month, your end of year plan? 2, what are the days that you're going to do it? Get organized with their Things app and Google Calendar. Number 3, visualize, vision, belief, manifest. Number 4, get serious and take massive action. Absolutely massive action. I promise you, if you do this, serious growth and serious change is going to happen when you get organized and you map out what you're going to do when, what you're going to achieve, and then you just do it, right? Loads of people are just like, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. It's not about wishing, it's about doing, and it's a lot of doing, okay? But once you start to get into that flow and you start to stay grounded and you stay connected to the plan and you stay focused, you're going to get incredible results. So let's go through those setting goals, the SMART goals, right? SMART goals. 1, S stands for specific. What is the specific goal that you want to achieve? What is the specific, and it has to be specific. It's not, I want to lose weight. It needs to be, I want to lose 5 pounds. That specific goal. I want to make X amount of money this month. I want to be able to get my grades from this to this. Has to be super specific. Exactly what it is. Not I want to be healthy. That's not a specific goal, right? If I can pick it apart, it's not going to be specific. So write down what the specific goals are. Mine were specific. Get the new website out as the design, how I had designed it, right? That is a specific goal. Has to be measurable. Has to be a measurable goal that you can actually look over, right? What is it that you, like the specific goal, then take it into the measurable, okay? Can you measure that goal? How does that look? So, yeah, you can measure it. It has to be measurable, right? 5 pounds, okay, I can measure that because I can literally jump on a scale and I can say I've lost 5 pounds, right? So it has to be measurable. The website coming out, yes, it's measurable because I can see it, okay? So eating healthy is not measurable. Because what does that mean? That's subjective. But losing 5 pounds is losing 5 pounds. A new website coming out is a new website coming out. So it has to be measurable. A for smart is attainable, right? Are you like, hey, you want to lose 100 pounds, you want to do it in a month. It's not going to happen unless you cut both your arms and legs off, right? Everything's possible. So it has to be attainable. Otherwise, you stretch yourself and you're just like, oh my goodness, like this isn't going to happen, right? And then you get discouraged. So it has to still be an attainable goal. You want to push yourself, right? A lot of people don't push themselves. They just go, oh, I'm just going to do something that I think I can slightly do. No, you want to push yourself, but it also has to be attainable so that you feel like those goals are in reach and that you keep on going. If it's so far off, you will stop. Okay? It has to be realistic, right? Again, has to be something that is a goal that is realistic to you. Okay, if you're just like, I want to make $1 million this month, that's not going to be realistic. Probably not going to be realistic. Okay, so what's the realistic goal? When will you make that $1 million? When will you lose that 100 pounds? So make a realistic goal and then give yourself a time frame. SMART stands for time. What is the time frame that you are going to give yourself to hit that goal? So I want to be this position in 4 months' time. Well, can you be that position in 4 months' time? I couldn't be the top 1% 2 months ago because you have to do something 3 months in a row. So it wouldn't work, right? I have to give myself a realistic, attainable, measurable, specific goal that has a time frame. So we need to get down today those lists that you have. And the reason is that some of these goals, for example, hitting a 3rd cut, I have to do that in July. That's going to happen, July 2020. That is going to be the time frame. So all of these goals that you write down in those big lists, you also need to make sure that 1, it's specific, 2, that you can measure it, right? So you can actually see it. 1 is attainable, it's realistic, and it has a time frame. And that time frame, if you put it in that month, it's that month, right? It's that, hey, I need to do, a final cut of this in July. That is the time frame. I've got 31 days to do it. Okay, or hey, I want to lose, I want to gain 5 pound of lean muscle. Boom, I'm going to do it in July. I've got 30 days. That's my time frame. So you have to look at those goals, everything that you've written down. Okay, so map them all out. First of all, just go crazy. Just go crazy. I want to achieve this month. I want to achieve this month. Blah blah blah. And then I want you to go back and go through making sure that they're specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and you have a time frame with it as well. All right, I am fired up for the next couple of months. We're in a world where it's all a little bit crazy. There's ups and downs. It's going all over the place, but together, if we stay collective to the focus of what we want in our life and what we can control, you can do incredible things. This is actually a great time to be alive. There's so much growth happening. There is, so many breakthroughs that can come from times where it feels like it's a struggle. So I want to hear what your goals are. I want to find out what they are. So make sure that you follow me on the It Takes Grit podcast. Also on Rebecca Louise Fitness, Instagram as well. Leave us a review. Get yourself fired up. If you're feeling like, oh, I don't know what to do, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be, what course of action, then start just scribbling down like a whole bunch of ideas. Okay, ideas, and then put them into action. You have your list, you put them into your Google Calendar, you use your Things app, and boom, you're gonna get incredible results. So thank you for joining me on this week's episode of It Takes Grit. Always love chatting with you guys, and let's keep on being powerful and strong. See you next time.
I always tell people, I'm like, don't shy away from understanding that it's okay to move. And if you're in pain and there's different areas that you feel like, I just don't know where to get started, we can